looking to buy a piece of property, and this is why distressed properties are a very great entry, and you can find a lot of them. If you just go drive by, look at the high grasses, high everything, and when you see these properties, you realize one thing: it needs a lot of work, and that's why you have to start educating yourself on like what does it mean to make the proper improvements so that you can have the value that you want on your property. Texas A&M is known for College Station, but Bryan itself have a lot more that you need to see. So I'm gonna take a look at a brand new investment that you could either live or invest, or if you're that person that wanna be here for a short term, but you wanna understand how to do both, then stay tuned. Take a look at this unit. Let me know what you think. All right, let's take a look at 601 Tiny House. So right when you walk in, like I said, they've done a real good job of this wall. Man, give you a good Texas feel. They're still doing some setup, so I just caught them in the middle of it. Look at this kitchen. I've always loved these, and this gives a good feel to the Bryan area. So still in the middle of building out, and you can even go to this backyard. We just put in the fence. You can see how some staging. They've just built in this fence yesterday. Very nice, tiny backyard, but these are the small opportunities that you want to be able to capitalize on early. Here's your half bathroom downstairs. Because when you can capitalize on these type of opportunities early, over time, it's a lot of development going on. So let's go upstairs and take a look at the 2 rooms. So right when you walk up, you have a window, but then you have your laundry room. So, and I love they have kind of the chrome gold, excuse me, not chrome, but just the gold doors. So this is used for office space. Love the wallpaper. And then as you see, you got a closet right over here. Very good deep closets. Have your built-in shelves. And let's go ahead and go to the bathroom. Man, they just done a real great job with the fixtures on this house. They've utilized the space very well. High ceilings go a long way, especially when you have these tiny homes. When done right, like this, you don't feel like you're in a tiny home. Reserve account is always recommended. But if you see, okay, my cash flow, if I have a long-term rental, is this. But if I have the short-term rental, this is how much I could make. Now, I think this can balance out depending on how you break this down. But this is helpful for a couple reasons. When I look at long-term versus short-term, and especially if I'm looking to sell this is important for those people who want to have ROI and see how much they can make. I believe long-term strategy, if it works, then the short-term should be a bonus. I don't believe you should bank 100% on short-term unless you are an Aggie parent or a former Aggie that say, I want to invest in where I went to school or where my kids are going at. And it will make sense for me to be able to purchase a property near campus that, number one, either they can live in and pay rent. I say, great, you can do active, you can get passive income, but you have to understand if you have an active income mindset, that's going to be an issue for you. And so here's the thing, I fell in that gap, and there's so many lessons I learned, I teach in my with my clients and that I help them understand, because I can hear it when I'm sitting with them and I'm realizing like, man, you're operating from the wrong place and I don't want you to stay there. So now I get to what's the number one reason that you probably want to start investing in real estate, but the thing that's holding you back is the fear. And if you get real estate, well, what benefits do you have? Well, here's the benefits. So we have the benefits. Benefits for long-term appreciation. Now, long-term appreciation is just simply if I put my money in a real estate deal, that means most likely I'm going to have equity. Where does equity come from, your boy? That's a great question. Equity comes from like if you rented out a house, you're tenant, and they pay rent every month. And if you're a renter or you pay rent, like you're paying a mortgage, and that mortgage is basically building up equity. So the more you do that, is building up. And this is why they say savers or losers, is because the appreciation on real estate minimum is, I want to say, I think it's 3% to 4%. What's appreciation is just basically the ability to say that the value of what I own is going to rise over time. So appreciation to real estate. So equity. So when you purchase a real estate deal, you get equity back in return that over time will grow. So you put your money, put $100,000 in real estate and put $100,000 in your savings. I promise you, one is going to outrun the other, because the reality of that is you're going to touch that 100,000, but inflation is going to do that, right? So you have a hedge against that. So the second, when it comes to benefit of real estate is it's a form, if you want to say retire. And this is where people say, hey, well, maybe you want to build your money all in real estate, put your money in there that you want to pass it down and you want to have generational wealth. And a lot of people, you have to realize like, okay, you have to identify what generational wealth means to you. For what generational wealth means for me is like, we want to make sure we're setting a path for our kids that they don't have to start from zero.
That's something to really consider, or just to say, hey, I want to get this looked into or get a quote on this because this could cost me very minimum $10,000 or more. All right. So kind of take a look at a couple things or hints that can help you on a foundation. So as you are looking at foundational things, you can sometimes find some dips into the ceiling. Sometimes you have cracks in the walls, like these cracks, 100% not certain. And to be honest, I'm not a certified foundation person. I've just walked enough property to say, all right, hey, well, I got a couple spots where, hey, we need to check out. So, and then I got some spots that are a little bit higher. And sometimes that means the floor have had work done to it. And that can be a good thing because it can save you costs. And you just need to know. Now, how do you know if you have a pier and beam? Generally, you'll know just for the year. But typically, underneath the house, you'll see a space where you can get underneath it. And if the whole house have foundation, crawl space where you can get underneath. So all this can be removed and you can go underneath the actual house. So that is one indicator of if you have a pier beam, and also like when you walk inside, when it comes to those things or items that maybe need to be repaired. So you can find like little spots like that and you say, hey, well, let's at least get this looked into, because this is sometimes can be the most costly work that needs to be done. Now, depending on your level and investment and your strategy and what returns you want, the thing that you need to remember is that when you're looking at these different neighborhoods, keep in mind is that rents are going to be different. And each subdivision has a different effect as far as how much you can expect and also how much money you're going to make when it comes to appreciation and just overall when you're looking at investment property.